Hello Taurus, Elsie here to do a reading for you. It is a bonus read, my friends. Thought I'd squeak one more in before the week began, before I get to the sneak peek for tomorrow. And I actually came here to not just read for you, but also Libra and Pisces. So thank you so much for clicking here. I do appreciate you. Thought I would throw one more out, one more for you, one more for Pisces, one more for Libra, and one more for Taurus. So let's find out what's going on for you, Taurus. Start you out on the week here. And of course, you'll have the energy for the sneak peek tomorrow. And let's find out what's going on for Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. If you've never been to a bonus read before, please know that I am reading for the present or the future energy, and that this is a reading that may resonate today, tomorrow, next year. Take it as it resonates for you. Not all of you are on the same cycle, right? Not all of you are on this current cycle. So take it as it resonates for you. Please use your intuition to know which part's for you. Leave what's not for you. Tell me about Taurus. What's coming up for Taurus? What do we need to know? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got the Six of Swords for you, Taurus. Where are you moving to? Feels like you're leaving somewhere. You're on your way here. Tell me about Taurus. We do have the Three of Pentacles. Somebody here is leaving a friend group. You could be leaving a workplace, possibly. It does feel like somebody here has decided that wherever they were, there wasn't enough pentacles. So you could be leaving the workplace and moving to another place of work. But I feel like, with the Three of Pentacles here, that this was a place where I feel was good for the time, because you did get reciprocal energy there. I feel like you were, were collaborating or cooperating with the group around you. Could be that some of you are moving from a community, because the Three of Pentacles is also community. It's a partnership. For some of you, it could be a partnership, a business partnership, a work partnership. We do have the Ace of Pentacles here. Not really telling anybody where you're going or what your next plans are, but I feel like the universe is giving you an opportunity, like blessing you with the Ace of Pentacles, opening a door for you, sending you off on in a new direction, and I think you're taking it, because the Six of Swords is here. I feel like wherever you were was kind of choppy, and you know that as you get out there, that I feel like there's something out there that is going to work out for you better than the place that you were. It's not that the place that you were was bad. I feel like you just want more for yourself here, Taurus. We do have the Seven of Wands. There is a situation here where I feel you have to stand up for yourself. Look, this could be a relationship reading as well, but it feels like with these pentacles here that whatever you're dealing with is in your pentacle world. So it's in this moment. It's not out there. It's not the future. It's not the past. It's right here. So it feels like here that somebody stood their ground or decided to stand up and say something finally. And so the Three of Pentacles could definitely be that this is a community, a friend group, or a place of work. Take it as it resonates for you. But the Seven of Wands here, I feel like what they didn't realize is that you are in a new era. Taurus, I'm going to say you're in a new era, because what's in my head is Chinchilla, Little Girl Gone. And she says, what does she say? Messed with the wrong bitch messed with the wrong bitch in the wrong era, in the new era, in the wrong era. Yeah, it feels like, honey, I've changed so much since I last saw you. That's what it feels like. You've grown. You've grown, and you're leaving a place because it no longer suits who you are. And I feel what they didn't realize is while they were all pointing their arrows at you, that you were actually loading your own bow here. So I feel like you stood up for yourself here, and that's why you're going. Tell me about the Six of Swords. Tell me where Taurus is going to. This could be a friendship group as well. Maybe you're out. Maybe you decide that you're better off being alone, doing your own thing. New path. Tell me about the Six of Swords, please. Where's Taurus going to? We've got the Six of Cups. We've got the Hierophant. And we've got the Eight of Wands. It feels, Taurus, that you don't want to repeat a pattern. That's what it feels like here. It feels like you've grown enough that you are your leader. You know how to do the right thing. We've got the Hierophant here, right? You're the spiritual teacher. It does feel literally like you outgrew the situation here. That the people that were around you, I feel like you were on par with them for a while, but it feels like you've become the Hierophant here. And I feel like you have, it feels like this is, how can I say, it feels like peeling an onion. It feels like when we come here, we're like at the center of the onion. I know it sounds weird, but this is what Charlie's showing me. So silly. Charlie's my guide if you've never been here before. Yeah, it gets a little weird here, so I'm a bit of a weirdo. So anyways, so it feels like you're at the center of the onion and you've been peeling away layers, Taurus. You've been peeling away the layers for a while here. And I feel like what you're left with now is the Hierophant. And you've realized that you're a person who is kind of head and shoulders above the rest, or maybe that you're just a little further along on the path. I'm going to say, I don't like to say lower and higher vibrations. I really do feel like it's frequencies, and that we don't always understand another person's frequency. I think you outgrew the frequency, Taurus. That's what it feels like here. But I feel like you've been outgrowing it for a while because the Six of Cups is here. And I feel like all of the stuff that you've learned from the past that's brought you to this moment here, I feel like now it's time to move. It's time to go. You were listening to the universe. The universe is telling you, look, you have the lessons, you've learned the lessons that you need, and now it's time to take the information that you've learned and it's time to pass it on to somebody else. And so the Eight of Wands is here telling me that things are about to speed up, that things will start coming toward you really quickly here. Tell me about Taurus. Tell me what else we need to know. You could be dealing with Aquarius. I think the Aquarius reading that I did just this past Friday or Saturday, I think I got that same song with Chinchilla, with Little Girl Gone. So I feel like if you're dealing with an Aquarius, you should probably go look at that reading. So we do have the Magician. We have the Eight of Cups in the reverse. We have the Two of Swords. I'm not going back. It feels like here with the Eight of Cups being in the reverse, the Eight of Cups in the reverse to me is the boomerang, but I feel like somebody here knows better. I'm not going back there. Wherever this was, I feel like you're not going back there. That the thought had crossed your mind that maybe you should go back there, but I think you realize that this is a stagnant energy that you were in and that you had manifested your way out. Like the manifestations that came in, it feels like you've come into your full power, I want to say. With the Magician and the Hierophant here, it feels like you're like tapping into your full potential, all of your skills. It feels like now you're realizing that you do have all of these tools and that you don't have to go back to anywhere you don't want to go back to. It feels like the place where you were is not the place you wanted to be, and that's why you had to stand up and say, it's time for me to go. I feel like you used some words, like some sharp ones, maybe with the Knight of Swords. It's Gemini. Gemini to me is the freedom fighter, right? So the Gemini is going to stand up, and say, no, bro. No, we're not doing this now. I think it's time for me to go. Tell me what else is here. We've got the star energy. And so I feel like that's exactly it. You're the star. You outgrew it. It's time for you to stop sharing the spotlight with other people. It's time for you to get out on your own path, because that's what the Hierophant does, right? The Hierophant goes out on their own path. They know what they know, and they're listening to the inner voice now. They're listening intuitively, and they are a teacher. And so I feel like it's time for you to not be, you shouldn't be blending in with the crowd. I'm going to say that you're kind of a sore thumb. You're sticking out of the crowd here, because I feel like you are somebody, you may dress weird, I don't know. Do the Hierophant dressing a little weird. Okay, I know what it is, right? It's not weird at all. It is, this person is dressing for the part, right? Which is what they say you're supposed to do. And I feel like for somebody here that you are the star, and I feel like in order to get balance that you really terribly needed, I think that you had to leave someplace, which I feel is either a friend group or a community. Maybe you've moved house, but it also could be a place of work. I feel like all of this stuff, you know what it is? I really feel like we're at the center of the onion, and it's like this life is so we could peel back the layers to figure out who we're supposed to be. Because we come into this life as a clean slate, and then our parents tell us who to be, our grandparents tell us who to be, we meet people in our lives, friends, all that, they tell us who to be. And I feel like it's the unpeeling of the onion is the Six of Cups. It's like all the person that you are supposed to be is the person that you end up being. But I feel like there's a lot of movement that you're going to get now. Things are going to start picking up and moving here. Tell me about the Eight of Wands. We have the Strength card. So after a long time of holding your tongue, holding back and not saying anything, I feel like now you're free to spread your message, whatever your message is. We have the moon energy, and we have the 5 of Wands. So I feel like this place here was a comfort zone, and I really do feel like you wanted to stay there. It feels like you weren't sure about what was coming up, and you sort of fought sort of internally, beat yourself up, feeling in lack. I shouldn't be leaving here. Trying to protect myself here. I don't want to see what's coming up in the future. But it does feel like you eventually go on this new path here. We do have the King of Wands, and it's because it was time. Look, we can never do anything before it's time. And so I feel like it was now that you felt inspired to leave. Maybe you hung out as the Hierophant in this group for a while, but you weren't ready to go. So I feel like you're now feeling inspired to go. Tell me what the outcome is here. Where's Taurus going? I feel like it's time to go, and things are beginning to move really quickly here. Tell me what is the outcome. Where's Taurus going? What's the outcome here? We've got the Wheel of Fortune. There we go. That's what it is, right? So when the Wheel of Fortune hits, you don't have a choice, right? It's time to go. You got to go with the flow. So I do feel that the Wheel of Fortune is here and change is here. And that's why you ended up leaving this group or this job or this partnership. Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Lovers. All right. And we have the World card. So this was a chapter. It's the end of a chapter is what it is. And it's really important to know when the end of the chapter is, because for Taurus, it's really hard to know because you're loyal, Taurus. You're loyal, and so you want to stick around, right? It's hard to know when is the end of the relationship, the end of the job, the end of the group. Have I outgrown them? It's really hard to know because of your loyalty. You're super loyal, and it's hard to know when you should go. But I feel like the only time that things move in the right direction, or the times when we're listening and we've got to go or leave the situation, leave the partnership, the friendship, the community, is when the universe tells us that there's something else you're being called to. And because you're the Hierophant, you're listening for the call, right? You're always listening to the universe. So I feel like what is happening here is I feel like what's changing is that you have a lot of different choices to make. And so you had to close a chapter here in order to move forward. In order to be able to, it almost feels like the Hierophant is like you're out there doing your own thing. And I feel like this is something that you always should have been doing because the 6 of Cups is here. It feels like maybe you've been this person for a really long time, but kind of just had a realization. For some of you, it feels like the Wheel of Fortune is turning forward into the Lovers. So it feels like you had to close a chapter and leave here so you could meet somebody who is, who possibly you are going to be very deeply connected to here. A soulmate, possibly. We do have the 3 of Swords. It's breaking your heart to leave the situation, but you've got to go because you've grown. You're abundant. You don't need anything anymore. You don't need this group of people. It's really important to know when you outgrow a situation and when it's time to go. We have the Ace of Swords. So I feel, Taurus, you're here, the Empress, and I feel like it is heartbreaking that you are leaving, but I feel like you had a moment of clarity, realization, like a triumphant, clear realization that a new path was opening here, and you had to take the path. And it's because of the Wheel of Fortune. Abundance is here. Expansion is here. And it's time for things to start moving forward now. So for those of you who've been feeling a little stagnant, a little stale, if you're a person who's already worked your way up to the Hierophant stage, which is always doing the right thing, somebody who is a leader, a natural leader that never has to ask other people to follow them, somebody who is listening to the higher self and making decisions, always doing the right thing, spiritual teacher, wanting to spread a good word, whatever that word is. And I feel like you first had to get to this Empress energy and realize you outgrew the group before you could go on your own path, because that's what the Hierophant is on, their own path. Tell me about what happens next for Taurus, please. Tell me what happens next. This is quite an accomplishment here. It is, because I feel like somebody here was probably stuck in this situation for a while. Maybe it was the universe had to flag you with some money. It was like, look over here. Here's where the Ace of Pentacles is. And but I mean, for not all of you, this is going to be lucrative money. It's not going to be money. It's because understand, Pentacles are energy. Whether you decide it's money, or you decide it's good health, or you decide it's wealth or stability in the 3D, it's your decision, whatever's going on in your life, right? Tell me what's coming next for Taurus. We have the Hermit. You definitely are someone of wisdom, someone who is now wanting to heal others. I feel like you are a healer, somebody who's realized that you are a healer. You have the wisdom of the healer. Now you're noticing here, after being in Hermit energy for a while, that it's time to go. I'm now stable in my energy, and I know I got to break hearts in order to leave, but if you don't leave the situation when you're ready to leave the situation, there's no point in manifestation, is there? Right? You got to get up and do something. You got to take action. That's why I feel like prayer without works is dead. You can wish and hope and pray for whatever you want, but if you don't get up and do something about it, then nothing is going to come of it, right? We do have Chariot. Ah, look at that. We have the Three of Cups. So look, you are on your way, Taurus. Wherever it is that you're going, I feel like you're getting there pretty quickly. It is a victory. You will be celebrating. It's happiness. I feel like it almost feels like somebody is like graduating something. So you could be graduating school or graduating a group of people who possibly you outgrew. For some of you, if this is a business reading for you, that I feel like you were offered money somewhere else, and it feels like this is really significant here, that somebody realized you messed with the bitch in the wrong era. Right? The song I'm talking about? Mess with the wrong bitch in the wrong era. That's what it feels like. Don't test me. Don't come for Taurus. That's what it feels like here. That's what this energy is. It feels like you were in this group of people here, whatever this was. This could be an employer or a group of people, and you finally realized, look, I'm the star, and I'm just gonna load my own bow. You guys can poke at me if you want, but I'm gonna load my own bow. So I feel like you had a lot of people who thought that they could cross your boundaries, and I feel like you had to stand up as the Hierophant and say, no, I'm going on my own path. You guys don't get to tell me what I'm going to do. So it does feel like here that somebody is in their balanced energy. You might be in the Hierophant energy, and you also might be in this Empress energy. Take it as it resonates for you. But there is a celebration coming at the end of the road here that I feel where you're getting celebration because of the wisdom you've learned and because you actually decided to move forward here. We do have the Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. That's where you were. You were worrying about things that weren't going. It's like you were in Groundhog Day, or you couldn't be vulnerable, or it's like, we went from the 3 to the 4, and the 4 wasn't enough. The 4 is a place where you're kind of shut down, shut off, or still holding on to this group of people. And it was worrisome, but I feel like the Tower came. Yeah, it's time to go. When it's time to go, it's time to go. We do have the World card, which is Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo energy. We do have Sagittarius, Gemini energy here. We have Taurus and Libra, more Taurus energy. We also have Aquarius energy. We have Gemini and Aries. We have Virgo, and then we have Pisces and Cancer. I'm just going to leave it right here. Thank you so much for coming and watching, and I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Love ya. Bye-bye.